Hello.
Go on, Anita.
Yes, Anita. Please go ahead. All right. Thank you, and apologies for being late. Jennifer, would you be able to put up my presentation, please?
Give me a second. It's hanging.
If not, that's okay. I can just speak to. Okay. I don't want to waste too much time. But I think I will begin the presentation. So thank you very much, colleagues, partners. Welcome to the West African have done in the past 3 regional convenings. We want to set the objectives for the meeting. The objectives for the 16th for this meeting come from the discussions that were held at the 15th CSO Forum. The 15th CSO Forum was so this forum really is a follow-up of the discussions of the 15th CSO Forum. Jennifer, I hope so. That is the concept note. I think there is the presentation, but that is fine. Okay. So this is a follow-up of the discussions of the last CSO Forum that was held in Egypt. And colleagues, you will recall that there were robust discussions around child protection and child development, including child survival. Issues, colleagues also, we had discussions around how reflection on the African child rights instruments, the achievements and gaps, including the roles roles played by stakeholders. So during that forum, some of the things that were agreed on was that the CSO Forum needs to evolve in its leadership. And this leadership includes strategic planning, capacity building, and development of organizational systems, including strategic plan and internal policies, as well as discussions around, how do we make CSOs across the continent who are working on child rights a bit more active as participants within the forum. So the 16th forum, we had envisaged that the 16th forum was going to take place in March of this year, between 21st and 22nd of March in Addis. And the focus was going to be on the child rights instruments and the frameworks within the African Union level, including the success and gaps of these frameworks, as well as the human rights instruments. The idea also was to continue with the discussions on how the CSO Forum's mandate, what institutional direction do we foresee the CSO Forum taking, even as it grows as it grows in its membership and participation. Yes. So as you see, colleagues, the discussions as we had envisaged then in March were going to, were derived really from the agenda of the 15th CSO Forum, including the discussions that were held. However, you note that that was not able to take place as we had envisaged. This is due to the novel coronavirus global pandemic. And therefore, the CSO Forum Secretariat and leadership decided to hold the current forum virtually. And the virtual forums were going to be based on the geographical blocks, so that we had initially we started with Southern Africa. Then we went to Eastern Africa and Northern Africa, which is yet to take place. And now we had Central Africa yesterday, and we foresee and then Western Africa meeting today. So the aim of these sub-regional meetings really is to address the unique regional issues on the thematic areas of the CSO Forum, including the strategic direction and policies such as safeguarding, child protection, guidelines, resource mobilization, and registration. So in the past, 3 regional forums that we've held. We've had very great discussions from colleagues and partners on the strategic direction that the forum needs to take, what we need to consider as the charter turns 30, including very great contributions on how the forum needs to evolve. So therefore, colleagues, in terms of the objectives, as I said, the objectives really are derived from discussions that we had in the 15th forum. And the first objective really is to map and learn from CSOs' contributions to the response, safeguarding, and protection of children's rights during the COVID-19 health crisis. We want to, as much as possible, learn and hear from our partners within the different regional blocks on some of the interventions that you're making in so far as addressing the impact of COVID-19 in your work as NGOs working on child rights, but also the impact it has had on children within your different jurisdictions. We also want to reflect on the impact of the Charter at 30 and its existence and initiatives by the civil society organizations. Colleagues, you note that the Charter is turning 30 this year. We want to know and reflect really over the past 30 years. What have we done well insofar as using the Charter as an instrument for protection of children's rights? What has not worked, and what do we need to reflect on as we move forward with the Charter as it is? We've had very great contributions from colleagues on what needs to be done. Do we need to align our reporting frameworks to the UN mechanisms, including what we need to do specifically around the celebrations of the Charter as it turns 30. The third objective is to deliberate on a clear, predictable, and a coordinated approach by CSO Forum in executing its mandate and adding value to its stakeholders through the development of the strategic plan and forum sustainability, as well as other internal policies. Colleagues, you will, as I said before, that this objective is really comes from the discussions of the 15th forum, where colleagues discuss the future of the CSO forum, including the strategic direction that it needs to take, and what contribution really can the forum make in terms of coordination and support towards advocacy with the committee. So we hope to also hear from you on how we can, better the internal policies, the strategic direction that the forum needs to take place, needs to take in the course of the next years. And lastly, colleagues, we want to map concrete ways to improve relations and dialogue between the forum, that is the management committee, the Secretariat, the membership, including our partners and key stakeholders, to effectively deliver on the forum's mandate. So this also, comes from the third objective, but we want to be a bit more specific in terms of the leadership of the forum. How do we see the leadership of the forum supporting the Secretariat, and how do we see the members supporting? How do you see the Secretariat also facilitating our members, and how do we see the members make a bit more contribution towards the improvement or the overall strategic direction of the CSO Forum? So, colleagues, those are some of the objectives for the meeting today. We hope that we'd be a bit more specific in our suggestions on what needs to be improved and how we need to work together for the betterment of children in Africa. So thank you very much. I hand over to Felicitas.
Thank you so much, Anita. At this point, let me allow Kumla and James hand over the session to colleagues in West Africa. James Kumla?
Yes, I'm here. I'm connected. We
Okay.
have a challenge. We have a challenge with the moderator. Have you Samira as a panelist or moderator?
No, I was saying that you could go ahead and make Raul to start talking to us.
Okay, good. The moderator has not succeeded to connect yet, so I will make sure that we move ahead with the first presentation. And I don't know if everybody has the agenda, but I will just I will do a quick summary of the quick introduction and of all the panelists, and make sure that we understand, so we don't waste time. We can move ahead. Thank you for the opportunity to have the view of West Africa in this CSO Forum. My name is Koblen Messi. I'm the General Secretary of WACSOF, West African Civil Society Forum, which is the network, the umbrella of all civil society organizations in West Africa. This program and agenda has been built in a team. This team is composed of people from the movement, with James, with Aida, Samira, all the team, Fatmata Sila, all those people. I would like to thank them, because this is an inclusive work and teamwork. That I want to thank them for their involvement. So I will switch in French. So I just want to make sure that the translation works very well. If I speak in French, I'm going to speak in French. So is it possible for you to tell me if you can have the translation corrected? So I'm going to switch. Bonjour tout le monde.
Good morning to all. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me as Anglophone? Can you hear me?
So
Good morning to all.
Yes, we can.
speak the English.
Yeah.
Okay, je parle français maintenant. Est-ce que vous...
Okay, now I'm going to speak in French. Are you able to listen to what I'm saying?
Je veux voir si la traduction fonctionne très bien.
I would like to find out if the translation is okay.
S'il vous plaît, me dire si la traduction fonctionne très bien.
Can you inform me if you are able to follow me?
Allô?
Hello.
Go on, Comlan. They have moved to English.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay, donc je vais vous faire une présentation
So
sommaire.
I would like to do a presentation with regard to what we have done.
Toute la session va se passer en trois. Enfin, notre CSO Forum Afrique de l'Ouest va se passer en trois.
The West African Forum has been divided in three parts. The first part is a presentation that will be done by Raul Ako, and he's going to discuss about the implementation of this chapter in West Africa, and this will be done. It will be a presentation of 15 minutes, and then later on we will move to the station of question and answers. And then later on, we will have a different presentation based on the civil society activities and in relation with other organizations within our region, and also the commitment with ECOWAS. And we will also share some example of the civil society activities within our region. Then later on, the third one, we will share activities that we are doing with children, and it will be presented by our colleague called Aimé, And Aimé will do his presentation for children. So this is basically what we are going to do today. So I'm going also to play the role of the moderator because our moderator is not able to connect. And I think these are some of the issues with technology. So without wasting time, I don't know if Mr. Raoul has been added as a speaker. Can you add Mr. Raoul as a speaker or as a panelist? Okay, things like he has been added. So if Mr. Raoul is already a member of the panel, then that is fine because he's going to do it. Means that Mr. Raoul is the chair of COMA, and then I'm going to share with you his profile very quickly. I'm going to read his profile. Mr. Raoul is the chair of the National Coalition of NGOs that are looking at any issue related to children and also with any cases about human rights, and also look at any other issue related to the right of children. So I'm going to give the floor to Mr. Raoul to do his presentation. Mr. Raoul, you have the floor.
Bonjour, je viens de vous joindre.
Good morning, I've just joined you.
Bonjour.
Good morning.
Allô Samira, on a fait la première introduction déjà.
I would like just to inform my friend that we have done the first part, which is the presentation, and then we are waiting for Mr. Raoul to do his own presentation.
Vous avez la parole.
Mr. Raoul, you have the floor.
On a des problèmes techniques.
Hey, it seems like we have some technical issues.
Aïda, est-ce que monsieur Lacouf est connecté?
I would like to find out if Mr. Raoul is online.
Hi, dear. How are you?
I'm fine.
Je veux bien.
Monsieur Raoul est connecté.
Yeah, Mr. Raoul is connected.
Je vais sûrement, il va intervenir. Mais il est
He's going, but he is connected, and soon he's going to intervene.
Allô, oui, bonjour.
Good morning.
Bonjour.
Bon, Raoul, on vous entend très bien.
Voilà, merci. Donc, je pense que c'est assez important qu'aujourd'hui, la CONAF Sénégal puisse participer à ce CSO Forum et qui nous permet aussi de pouvoir un peu parler de la situation de la mise en œuvre de la Charte africaine des droits et du bien-être de l'enfant au niveau de l'Afrique de l'Ouest. Ce qui est important aujourd'hui, c'est qu'on voit que dans le système national aujourd'hui de protection de l'enfant en Afrique de l'Ouest, la Charte africaine est en train de jouer un rôle fondamental. Ceci nous permet de dire qu'aujourd'hui, en termes d'aspects majeurs de la mise en œuvre, les plus pertinentes en ce qui concerne aujourd'hui la prestation de services du service public ciblant les enfants dans le contexte africain. La première chose qu'il faudrait relever à ce niveau, au niveau de ces aspects majeurs, qui sont au nombre de 4, c'est les capacités institutionnelles et des structures responsables des affaires relatives aux enfants. La deuxième, c'est les mécanismes de coordination permettant de faciliter la mise en œuvre des droits de l'enfant. La troisième, c'est les budgets alloués pour les droits, les budgets alloués pour les interventions. Et la quatrième, c'est le système de surveillance et de redevabilité permettant d'évaluer et d'améliorer les performances. Mais ce que nous pouvons dire aussi, c'est qu'aujourd'hui, en Afrique de l'Ouest, la grande majorité de ces difficultés tournent aussi autour des facteurs contextuels affectant la mise en œuvre, à savoir tout ce qui est facteur politique et économique, mais les aspects aussi socioculturels qui sont aussi contradictoires. Et là, si nous nous intéressons un peu dans cette mise en œuvre des droits de l'enfant au niveau de la Charte africaine, au niveau de nos pays, ce que nous pouvons aussi relever, c'est que aujourd'hui en Afrique, nous devons encore mériter de jouir pleinement de tous les droits disposés dans la Charte africaine. Parce qu'en fait, c'est notre référentiel, nous, en tant qu'Africains. Mais tout en sachant que aussi, la Convention relative aux droits de l'enfant est pertinente.
The convention related to children are quite important, and these will enable us to survive well and also to exploit our potential and to be able to protect children, against any kind of abuse, and also to be able to have their own opinion in any situation. And then also we need to make sure that those children can live in a better environment. So the socio-economic development need to look at the aspect of children and their physical development as well.
Des instruments relatifs aux droits de l'enfant et les buts vers lesquels les efforts nationaux
instruments related to children will be the most important item to answer the following question. If we look at after 30 years of the existing of this African Charter, what was really done? And through its achievement, we need also to ask ourselves, what are the goals that what are the objectives that we were able to also implement? So the question today, it is to really reflect on all those items in order to strengthen our knowledge in order to improve the services towards children. But we can say that the current situation of majority of African countries, African countries were able to do at least some of they were able to do their best so far, especially in terms of the right of our children and also the implementation of the structure that will enable to monitor any issue that is related to vulnerable children. We also noticed that during the last years that there was an increase in terms of children's activities. And right now, African states have been able to improve the welfare of children in our continent. So today, we can say that the rights of these children are taken into account. And today, we have a high increase of number of children that are in school, between also by looking at the different sex of those children. Majority of them are in school. Despite these progress and these achievements, we are far. We haven't yet reached where we wanted to go. So therefore, we need to look at the following instruments. Majority of the services given to children are not reaching those children. For instance, in Sub-Saharan Africa, we have at least 50 million of children who are not yet in school. And this is more than that's more than what is happening throughout the world. It is half of the figure around the world. So that's why that's the reason why today within UNESCO they have made some declaration about the African children. We have also noticed that schools are not so engaged to help children or to bring in all different classes of children. We need to look at also the children living with disability. They are not in schools. So when we need to look at any instrument that is related to the birth of children in Africa, we can say that those tools are not that strong. Therefore, us as a civil society organization, we need to continue supporting our states, especially from the time or from the day they are born. We need to continue supporting children. So this is the position of the Central West Africa. But we can at least we can see some progress because majority of Western Africa have adopted this charter. But we need to emphasize in budget allocation and also at the level of our own intervention. And we need also to look at the issue related to the monitoring of our activities. And I think that today, the coordination mechanism, we have some